Here's the brief news from the world over this week. The prelude to the Iowa caucuses are, for Democrats and Republicans, a free-for-all. According to the latest CNN aggregate polls, Donald Trump and Senator Ted Cruz are well positioned to take the first in the nation vote for the presidency on the Republican side. Trump is at 31%, Cruz at 26%. The rest of the GOP field is led by Marco Rubio, now at 13%. Trump's withdrawal from Thursday's Fox News debate in Des Moines has overshadowed the debate itself and dominated the airwaves. The Trump camp attributed the pullout to the perceived unfair treatment that Donald received by Fox News anchor Megyn Kelly at the very first debate. But it was a mocking press release from Fox News that pushed Trump over the edge. Trump staged his own alternative event to the debate, a fundraiser for veterans at Drake University. We'll discuss the wisdom or the folly of Trump's no-show and more in our next segment. On the Democratic side, insurgent Socialist Senator Bernie Sanders is neck and neck in Iowa with former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. Clinton stepped up her pace, adding a slew of campaign events across the state in a run-up to Monday's caucuses. And former President Bill Clinton is scheduled for daily events with Hillary the rest of the way. An Iowa loss could be embarrassing and possibly crippling for Clinton, as Sanders already leads her by double digits in New Hampshire. And abroad, the Italian Senate began debating whether to grant legal recognition to same-sex couples on Thursday. The center-left coalition government is pushing for civil union legislation, which would include allowing gays to adopt the biological children of their partners. Opponents to the measure took to the floor defending traditional marriage, arguing that a child has a right to a mother and a father. For nearly a decade, pro-family grassroots campaigns have blocked attempts to legalize gay unions. Italy is the last major Western nation that does not legally recognize same-sex couples. And Pope Francis has not waded directly into Italy's legislative debate. However, this past weekend, he emphatically defended traditional marriage during a Vatican speech. In an address to members of the Roman Rota, that's the Holy See's tribunal that reviews marriage cases, Pope Francis said that, quote, "there can be no confusion between the family willed by God and any other type of union," end quote. The Pope's comments appear to be referencing the debate at last year's Synod of Bishops and within the Italian Church, calling for greater acceptance for same-sex couples and cohabitation. Some Vatican watchers speculate that the Pope's comments may signal his intention to reaffirm church teaching on marriage in his upcoming document summarizing the Synod on the Family. That exhortation is expected in late March. We'll keep you posted. And in the wake of his country's international nuclear accord, Iranian President Hassan Rouhani visited Pope Francis in Rome on Tuesday. The 40-minute private meeting was the first between a pope and an Iranian president since 1999. The Vatican issued a statement saying the talks centered on the nuclear accord with the West and the important role Iran must play to combat terrorism and arms trafficking in the Middle East. The Vatican statement described the talks as cordial and indicated that common spiritual values were emphasized. Rouhani later remarked that he and the Pope discussed the need to completely eliminate weapons of mass destruction. Rouhani was on a European tour, signing several trade pacts following the lifting of international sanctions against Iran. And more terror attacks in Syria. At least 24 people were killed and another 100 injured in multiple bomb blasts in Homs on Tuesday. A security checkpoint was targeted. It was hit by a car bomb and a suicide bomber. Over the weekend, a bomb blast in the Christian neighborhood of Al-Qam Ishli has left 3 dead and at least 10 wounded. The city is a self-proclaimed autonomous territory, also known as Syrian Kurdistan. They are fighting against both the Assad regime as well as the Islamic State. Back in the United States, a surprise indictment of the videographers responsible for those undercover videos exposing alleged trafficking and sale of fetal tissue by Planned Parenthood. On Monday, a Houston grand jury cleared the abortion provider of any wrongdoing and instead indicted the undercover investigators responsible for the Planned Parenthood sting. David Daleiden, founder of the Center for Medical Progress, was indicted on a felony charge of tampering with a governmental record and a misdemeanor count related to purchasing human organs. Another activist, Sandra Merritt, was also indicted for tampering with a government record. The charges carry a maximum penalty of 20 years in prison. Their videos began surfacing last year and purportedly showed Planned Parenthood's willingness to sell aborted fetal parts to researchers for profit, a violation of federal law. Planned Parenthood officials have denied any wrongdoing, but have since ended their fetal tissue program in the wake of a public outcry. Texas Governor Greg Abbott and Attorney General Ken Paxton said their respective investigations into alleged wrongdoing by Planned Parenthood will continue. And for the second week in a row, the United States Supreme Court has struck down a state's fetal heartbeat law. North Dakota's 2013 law never went into effect and would have banned abortions after the 6th week of pregnancy, when a baby's heartbeat is first detectable. Last week, the High Court rejected Arkansas's bid to enforce its own fetal heartbeat law. That state banned abortions at 12 weeks. And quoting a scriptural passage from Hosea, "I desire mercy, not sacrifice," Pope Francis called the faithful to prepare for the season of Lent. Taking into account the current Jubilee year, the Pope urged a special emphasis on the spiritual and corporal works of mercy. The Pope said that in these concrete actions, feeding the hungry, visiting the sick, and comforting our neighbors, faith finds expression. He added, "On such things we will be judged." Lent is right around the corner. Ash Wednesday is on February 10th. And it was literally a circus at the Vatican on Wednesday. During his weekly general audience, the Pope enjoyed a colorful performance from members of various Italian circuses, marine-themed characters including acrobatic jellyfish, a baby crab, strange bikini-clad mollusks, and some very curious octopi populated the performance. After the show, Pope Francis congratulated the troupe members, calling them champions of beauty. And that was before Leo DiCaprio even showed up. Finally, I have something wonderful to share with you, some good news. The good folks at Random House Kids, the publisher of my forthcoming middle grade book, Will Wilder, The Relic of Perilous Falls, they have created the most beautiful special limited edition box for review copies of the book. And I thought some of you might like to have one. I think multiple family members will enjoy this adventure. It's really for the young and the young at heart. To win one of these specialty boxes, all you have to do is go to my Twitter or Facebook accounts and retweet or post the message about the book contest, and you're registered. I'll select 10 winners at random, and it's an amazing package. This was sent out to reviewers, and as you'll see in here, they've got this really cool tentacle wrap around the book and all kinds of goodies. A letter from Will and things that I think make it really special. So you can get one of those also if you email me at raymond@raymondarroyo.com. I know not all of you are on Twitter and Facebook. When you email me, include your contact info and put Will Wilder Contest in the subject line. Will Wilder, The Relic of Perilous Falls, the first of my Will Wilder series, premieres March 8th, but it is available now for pre-order, right now, at the EWTN Religious Catalog or wherever books are sold, and you can get some great deals if you pre-order. There's a link at raymondarroyo.com for both pre-order and contest info. I can't wait for you to meet Will. Adventure just got wilder.